What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with Flex Appeal episode 55. Today was the start of week 10, my first push day. It was interesting, because as I said in the last one, I absolutely demolished my big toe on my left foot with a plate. The toenails coming off, it's like very bruised and black, so it was hard to set up, because I like normally get behind the bar and then I push into my legs, but it hurt like because I usually go on like my toes, and I never noticed that until now that I do on my toes. So I was like, I literally told myself during my warm ups, I was like, use your balls, buddy. Like if it hurts, just grunt, but you have to get into your legs because if not, then the form's gonna suck. And I actually feel like today was one of my better bench days. Like I feel like my elbows were really tucked in. I felt really locked in on my form. So it kind of did help me. The biggest downside that I noticed was being able to just like walk normally, which is one of the things that I kind of predicted. The last 2 days on my deadlift day and then my rest day, I didn't bother walking at all because I was like, I'm just gonna let it rest and see how it goes. So I rested like 2 days, and it still hurts to walk. It doesn't hurt as much as it did on the initial day. It was just kind of annoying. So today I'm gonna try to get my steps in again because I don't want to take too much time off of getting 10,000 steps because it's hard for me to stay like leanish if my knee is not up and I'm not doing any extra cardio right now aside from 10,000 steps. So there will be a big drop off if I don't do that. And I'm just gonna do it by like slowly hobbling around my house for like an hour instead of trying to do what I normally do, which is like treadmill, because I don't want to like go beyond what I'm capable of right now and like really aggravate it and start bleeding or something. So I can work around it. It'll be fine. It does help that I'm not working. Still, I've looked for a job. I've had a lot of interviews, but have had no luck right now. Um, so it does help. They'll be able to recover right now. It is frustrating because I was getting such good steam, and although it obviously hasn't affected this part of training yet because this is like upper. I did squat, and I feel like if I'm not really focused on squatting, it could definitely cause me to shift to one side of my squat, which I already kind of have a problem sometimes hip shifting when I lose focus. Just because I'm overly cautious of putting pressure on it. But I think overall it'll probably be fine. Well, again, I'll have to see because I have my training log here because I like to write it down to just keep me on my phone. I am jumping a good amount from like 102.5 kilos to 110. I might just jump to 105 now because of what happened, but I'm like in a block of sixes right now, so we'll see. If I have to just go to 105, it's still fine. But ideally, I would have liked to jump to 110 this week on squats, kind of be a little bit more aggressive. But again, we'll see how that goes. Other than that, like having to work around that, this training session was pretty solid. I jumped from last week. I think I did 90 kilos on bench for like a 2x6 and or a 4x7, and this week I did 95 kilos for a 2x6. So I jumped 5 kilos, and it was still really good. My form felt very solid. Again, just besides the setup, progressed incline about 10 pounds. I almost jumped from 190 because I did 190 last week, and I almost jumped from 185 straight to 210. And then I looked at it, I was like, wait, I'm not supposed to do 210 on incline this week. I will get absolutely humbled by it right now. I'm not ready for the weight. And I'm glad I looked at it because if I had unracked that, I would have gotten like 3 reps, which is not ideal. So I unloaded back to 200, and then I did my sets. Went up on that. Pec deck felt really good. Trying not to go as deep because I feel like my left shoulder is like coming up when I do it. So that was pretty good. I I got a really nice pump. The dumbbell shoulder press was nice. 75s this week, and I think I matched my reps from last week. So my shoulders are feeling very, very strong. And I was like looking at Fat to Fit from last year that I was doing around the same time, and I noticed that my shoulder mobility is like exponentially better right now than it was ever in that point. Because I was like doing dumbbell press, and I was like here, and I would like go to like 90 and then stop, which is like not bad. But when I like to do presses, I like to go touch my chest or touch my shoulders, so I turn them in, and I noticed, wow, I'm so much stronger and I'm more flexible to the point where like I can hit my shoulder now, and it's like it feels good. I remember before it would like feel bad when I did it. So the fact that I can touch it to my shoulder and I'm significantly stronger on high incline, that's a really good sign already. Like that what I'm doing is already better than what I was doing last time around, which instills confidence in me that I can gain my strength a lot faster than I did before, um, which is nice. I feel like my exercise selection is a lot better this time around. I'm focusing on doing a bit more unilateral stuff for my, you know, deficiencies and on each side. And I noticed my left side is like pretty strong now to where like I think my right side is almost like kind of falling behind a little bit, or like very equal to my left side, which is nice because I've always had this problem where my left side is like weaker than the right side of my body, just because I'm a right-handed, right dominant side individual, and I never really started with my left side, but now I'm starting everything with my left side, so I'm feeling very good about it. Which is nice. It's I still kind of have that problem with legs. Like I said before, I noticed my hips kind of shift sometimes to the right into squat, like you can see it, or the bar will like tilt because I'm like pulling down harder on my right side. But it's something that if I'm conscious of, it doesn't happen as much. But sometimes I have a really hard problem, like focusing in like how a camera goes out of focus just randomly. That's kind of what'll happen sometimes, especially if the reps get really high. I'll just like lose focus, and that ends up being really bad because then my technique goes to shit. So that's also part of why I like doing I like being in strength phases more, because I noticed that if the reps are really high, like 10 or something, it ends up being pretty bad. And then the last like 2 reps of a 10 rep set just end up being enforcing bad technique. So it's just something that I think about when I'm potentially going back into a hypertrophy phase where I don't know if I'll go back to tens anymore. I really like it for building endurance, like GPP and stuff, and like getting really conditioned to do squats. But I don't know if they're as effective for me because of that, and as well as like I just feel like the last 2 reps, regardless, are just kind of bad reps. So I'd rather just cut them off and just do eights. But again, I digress. I'm kind of just yapping at this point. We'll end up having to see, but I'm really excited. This is like the pivot into like strength block really. I know sixes are not really that much strength, but I'm gonna do 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna do fives, which is like prime strength. And then we'll see after that if I'm gonna do another block of fives or if I'm just gonna go like fours and then peaking threes, and then like peaking for like 3 weeks or 4 weeks and then trying to max out. But we'll see where that goes. That's pretty much it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully for not hobbled squats. First leg day of the week. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.